Hey Allison, Jessica here with Peterson SEO with the free custom video that I promised you. So right now, you guys are getting about 20 people organically on average to your website per month. And that means you're missing out on hundreds of searches every single month by not having the strategies in place that I'm about to go over today. So now Google's made a ton of changes on what they want to see from your website to be able to promote it and show it to your customers. So it is really important that we're following Google's guidelines and we have these strategies in place. So right now, you're missing at least 60 to 70% of the searches every single month. So in order to start capturing that, we have to focus on your content, keyword strategy, as well as your citations and backlinking strategy, okay? So your website is a decent looking website, okay? We definitely need to make sure this is a click-to-call phone number. This one is, so that's good. Websites have to be mobile first, mobile friendly for Google. Okay, that means making everything clickable, easy for people on their handheld devices to be able to contact you. Now, when it comes to ranking a website, it is based on content. Content is key, so you do need a lot of content. You do have to have separate pages for all your major services, which it does look like you have. So really good job on that. Now, we do want to make sure all of these pages have their own original content. They're focused on their own local keywords. Okay. You guys appear to serve an entire county or maybe more than a county. So we have to focus on a specific area. So whether this is Tabernash or one of the other areas in the county, we have to focus on local keywords. Those are the keywords people are actively searching in your area for each of these services. So simply just putting water damage, fire damage is not enough, okay? We have to use the keywords and the questions people are searching so that you actually do show up when people search. Now, Google is also geographical based. Wherever that GPS is, where the people are searching, is where people are going to come up. So it's important that Google knows what areas that you serve and that you have those local keywords, as well as different pages for each of the areas that you serve. So whether you're going to do an entire county and do a separate page for all the major service areas in that county, you do need those separate area pages so that Google can put you in front of the customers in each of those areas. Now, Google sends crawlers to your website that go and it scans your entire website to understand what your business is about. So it needs a lot of content, and that's images, videos, and written content, but it all needs to be optimized around the local keywords people are searching. Again, that's water damage, Tabernash, water damage restoration, etc. Okay, and so we have to focus on those keywords, get a couple repetitions in there, so Google actually indexes those keywords. Your home page needs at least 1,500 words or more of this written content. Okay, if your competitors have 1,500 words, you need more than they have. So you have to work on your content and keyword strategy so Google understands who you are. If the robots come and they don't understand who you are, what services you offer, and where, it's impossible for them to rank your website and bring customers to you. Okay, so your content and keyword strategy is absolutely critical here for you. If we look at your top water damage competitors in the Granby area, we do have SERVPRO, which is the #1. Yes, they're a franchise, and they're also very beatable. These franchisees get these generic pages that they're not allowed to really modify. They can't focus on a keyword or marketing strategy that actually benefits them. So all you have to do is better than they're doing. So more content, more pages, more long form blogs. And these guys are actually really easy to outrank. Okay. And the other one is this 𝙄𝙣𝙧𝙬𝙬𝙧𝙬. They have a decent website. They have separate pages for all their major services. They appear to have more content. Okay. Not a ton of content here, but they do have more. And they also have service area pages. So we just have to do better. Better than SERVPRO, better than 𝙄𝙧𝙧𝙬𝙬, better quality content. And Google's very particular about the content. They don't just want generic content. They are hyper-focused on something called EEAT. And what EEAT? It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So that is showing us the work that you've done, telling us how long you've been doing it, showing us the experience, the authoritativeness, and building those trust factors, having good FAQs on the page, having good detailed information about you, good bios. All of those things are important to build that trust, and that's what Google's looking for. And then if you want to actually be showing up in searches, like AI generative searches, ChatGPT, and that, you definitely have to be writing writing content that answers the important questions people are asking so that you actually show up when people ask those questions. Okay, so content is absolutely critical for you guys. Now, as you know, when people do a search, they're going to do a search similar to this. And when they do, there's three main areas that you can show up. The first are generally going to be your ads, your cost per click ads, and your local service ads. So it does look like you are running those, which can be profitable if they're done the right way. And you guys are towards the top, so that's a good sign there. The second spot here is your Google Business Profile, Google Map Pack. And for this specific search, you're in the top here. So really good job there. You want to make sure that your website, your profile here is in the top 3, because 30% of people come straight to the maps and don't go anywhere else. And Google stopped showing the companies below 10. So you have to be in at least the top 10 to even come up in the maps. But being in the top 3, you capture a larger portion of that 30% that comes straight here and don't go anywhere else. So if you do find that your profile doesn't show up for a specific keyword or service, you want to further optimize that profile and get more citations. And those are simply listing the name of your business, your address, phone number, website, and putting those in a bunch of directories like Yelp, Yellow Pages, and Glassdoor. And then this third section is the most important section. This is called your organic section. 60 to 70% of people come straight here and do not go anywhere else. And so it is absolutely critical that your website show up in this position. The closer you are to the top of this position, the more the potential traffic you're going to get. And so your website not showing up here means you're losing 60 to 70% of the available searches every single month. So in order for your website to show up here, it all comes back to the foundation of this website that we just went over, and then supporting that with backlink SEO strategy. Now, this is Ahrefs, a paid tool that we use to show how your website is performing. We can see here you have a rating of a 6 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow for your website. And that is pretty low. And that is because of the power you're sending to it. So like every other tool, your website needs power. And we get that power with something called backlinks. So what's important to understand, though, is not all backlinks are created equal. We only want good quality do-follow links that are closely related to the services that we're offering. So the fact that you have over 200 backlinks and a score of 6 tells us that you have a lot of spammy links in here that are doing more harm than good. So we want to get rid of those spammy links and go after good links from other businesses, other websites, similar to other home service businesses, could be plumbers, could be vendors, but more closely related to what you offer. You have actually been indexed for 36 keywords, but you're only getting 20 people organically to your website, meaning they're not typing in your website address. Okay, they're doing a search. Now, when we look at your keywords, you do have a couple that are on the first page. They're really towards the bottom. And if we look here, these are actually national keywords. And we don't want to focus on national keywords because the people that do land on your website, even if you're ranking for it, are not necessarily even in Colorado. Okay, they could be in New York. So we have to focus on the local keywords because we don't just want any traffic to your website. We want website traffic that is going to convert and bring you more jobs each month. Okay, so we have to focus on your content and keyword strategy so that we can bring in that traffic. When we look at the local SERVPRO here, their area only has a rating of a 4.5. They're not doing any SEO. It makes sense because there is no way for them to fix what's wrong. So they haven't been indexed for keywords. They're not really getting much traffic, but they are holding a higher position just because of how powerful this website is. The franchise as a whole is able to push power back to these small locations. So by showing the strategies that I've shown you, you can and will outrank these guys. Okay, and looking at Noah's here, they also have a really low score here, a 0.5 with 52 backlinks. We just have to do better quality links, better content and keyword strategy. They've only got 27 keywords indexed, yet they're getting over 100 people to their website. Still not a whole lot, but it's 5 times more than you guys have coming in. So again, very, very beatable competitors here. We can see they are, you do have a couple here on the first page of Google. These keywords here are for Colorado Springs, a different area. But again, very, very beatable. You just have to apply the strategies that I've shown you. Hopefully you found this information to be helpful. Please feel free to take this information, run it, apply it yourself, and start helping more people today. But if you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a partner in growth, at Peterson SEO, this is our specialty. We specialize in working with restoration companies just like you guys. So please feel free to respond to my email, give us a call, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I do look forward to hearing from you soon.